Do you meditate?
Daily.
Do you meditate?
Yes.
Sometimes? Have you ever seen a movie where the rocket ship is breaking through the atmosphere and the G-force is so strong that you can see the tension on the faces of the bodies that you're watching moving through space? Their eyes look like they're going to bulge out and their head looks like it's going to explode, and you can tell that they can hardly stand it, and then all of a sudden they break through, and then the relief of that tension is no longer there. That's what meditating is like. Not quite, but it's sort of kind of like that. Sort of kind of like that, because your goal is to quiet your mind. But when you first start to quiet your mind isn't quieted. So you have a sort of internal battle going on, because you want to quiet your mind, but it isn't. You want to quiet your mind, but it isn't. You want to quiet your mind, and it isn't. And you're so focused on quieting your mind, you can't. And so we say, listen to the air conditioner. It's so beautifully boring. You have no judgment about it. I've heard better. You don't feel that way. So you just let your mind relax. And at first there's a tension. There's a tension, isn't there? You know what we're talking about? We're talking about the tension of releasing resistance, which is easily accomplished by releasing thought. But there's a tension in releasing thought because you've trained your minds to focus, and your mind doesn't want to really release thought. Your mind wants to focus on something, and the law of attraction is going to cause your mind to focus on the most active thought, which in most cases, we love you so much, is resistant in nature to some degree. So when you meditate, you got to focus on something and let that tension be there because it's natural. But just keep focusing until you break through the atmosphere. You will. And when you do, sweet relief will come over you. That's a state of non-resistance. And when you do that, we're talking about 15 or 20 minutes to get there. When you do that, now everything in your vortex you are allowing. But we don't want you to think about it. We want you to just sit in that relief, in that release, in that absence of resistance, and know, but don't know it so much that you're thinking. Just know that what's in your vortex is now calling you, and there's no resistance in you. So you're going. And as you go, now a thought will occur to you, an impulse will occur to you. And when it comes, think about that. But we're talking about what Esther is writing as she writes her segment of intention, as she's going to meditate. She's begun writing something like this. Not the same words every time, but the same intention. I'm going to sit for 20 minutes or so. I'm going to turn off my phone and sit in a place where there will not be interruptions. The universe has such good timing. And I'm going to quiet my mind. I'm going to quiet my mind by focusing on this sound. Sometimes it's a sound in her house. The refrigerator makes a really nice sound, the condenser. The air conditioner makes a really nice sound, but sometimes it turns on and off. So she has an app on her phone. It's the most spiritual app in the whole world. It's called Central Air. It's just this nice, steady, sort of atmospheric buzz that she focuses on. Her statement of intention is, I'm going to focus on this sound of silence, so to speak, this sound. And I'm going to allow my vibration to rise. And then this is the key word that she has just discovered recently. And this is everything that we're leading up to with you. And then I'm going to watch the movie if it happens. I'm going to watch the movie if it happens. Not, I'm going to create a movie. Not, I'm going to take this issue and I'm going to work it over good. Because That's a reintroduction of the resistance she was talking about letting go of. I'm just going to watch the movie. I'm going to watch the non-resistant movie that my inner being has queued up for me. So I have one singular intention, and that is to release any resistance that I have. Okay, now that made perfect sense to you, didn't it? Your meditations are going to be so much more pleasurable from now on. Pleasurable and therefore powerful, but pleasurable is what we're going for. But therefore more powerful, but pleasurable is what we're going for. Because if you go for the power of it, you're going to try to create within it. If you go for the pleasure of it, you'll chill. You'll allow it to be. So you got that, didn't you? Now what we're saying to you is that's the same stance that we want you to now be relative to everything that you want, because you've done the work. You have sifted through the data. You've done step 1. Source has gathered the cooperative components. Step 2 is done. Now your work relative to this subject is to let it be. Let it come to you. Don't try to direct it. That makes you focus in the same way that we were giving the example of. It makes you activate vibrations that are in your way. You are so close, not to this end result, to this never-ending pattern and path of results. You're not ever going to get it done. You're not ever going to get to the end, but you're going to have so much pleasure as the universe says, here you go. And you say, I see that. And then the universe says, here you go. And you say, I see that. The words that are coming from Esther these days are, I am bowled over by my now awareness of the cooperative universe that is acting on my behalf. She said it's like problem, solution, problem, solution, problem, solution, problem, solution, or question, answer, question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. And if the question and the answer are really close together, or the problem or the solution are so close together, then you have that feeling of your hands in the clay, but you don't mess it up by focusing upon a problem when you're not close enough to the solution to let it in. Is that helpful?
Yes. And, yeah. Yeah.